Dr. Naveed Najand here, who is joining us very graciously with his own time today to share some things. I'll let him introduce himself in a minute, but he was one of you, I believe, in May and June. We ran a shortened session or a more compressed set of sessions around curriculum integration in the May-June semester, and Naveed was one of the faculty champions part of that. I've also had the pleasure of working with Naveed in other areas and through other courses and learning with him, which has been fantastic. And I see some more people joining today, which Naveed has invited, so that's also wonderful. Um, so maybe I'll just let Naveed introduce himself. I'm going to stop sharing. And then Naveed, if that's okay, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and I'll pass over the controls to you and stuff while we're breaking for 5 minutes. But welcome, Naveed. Take it away.
Hi, Todd, and everybody else. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's a great pleasure being between our amazing people. Some faces here I'm familiar with. I've seen some of you before. So great to see you all. I have been working with AI. I really like what we are doing here with AI, so I'm very curious to know different tools, how we are using them, what is our policy, how are we going to implement them there. So we're going to take a break, as Todd said, and then after that, I'm going to walk you through different things. And during the presentation, if you have any questions, this is like, it doesn't need to go with through the whole process of the presentation. I created a presentation file. I'm just going to share the link here, but we don't have to follow that. If you think that there is something more important or something that you're curious about, that's something that I might be able to answer, I'm more than happy to answer that. So I'm just going to share the link to the slides here. After 5 minutes, when we are back, we can I can move on and show you all the things that could be helpful for us. Some of the things that I have experienced, and if that works, we could just go ahead, and then we can also practice some of them together if you want. Thank you.
Thanks, Naveed. So we'll take a break if anyone, and I know some of you just joined, so apologies if you just joined in time for break, but you didn't miss anything. For those of you just joining, Naveed will be starting in, about 5 minutes time, and
Don't you know I got all I need, guaranteed to make you feel better. See empty streets and blue skies. I'm climbing high, better cut the tether. Echo in the dark, lightning in my heart. Welcome to the world. It's an echo in the dark, a lightning in my heart. Welcome to the world. It's such a fucked up world, but I'm glad we're living in it. Such a beautiful world. I'm glad we're living in it. I'm glad we're living in it. I know it's crazy. Are we ever gonna shine? Don't know, but maybe there will be the time. Just show the moment, we make it better. It's only now, but it will last forever. Echo in the dark, a lightning in my heart. Welcome to the world. It's such a fucked up world, but I'm glad we're living in it. Such a beautiful world. I'm glad we're living in it. I'm glad we're living in it. It's such a fucked up world, but I'm glad we're
All right, we're back from break. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to turn the controls over to Naveed here. Thank you, Naveed. And we'll,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
So here is the link to the presentation file if anybody wants to have it. Just wanted to clarify, some of you are being invited from our school. So, and the activities that that they were being Todd was talking about, they are not relevant to you. You don't have to do it. Like there are no deliverables for you if you're just joining for this session. The whole session is for curriculum development, integrating generative AI into our programs and courses. Thank you so much. Just realize that maybe this was not in the original email sent to all of you. If we are okay, I'm just going to share my screen and then it'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to go advanced. There we go. And I'm just bringing that to this screen. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that, Todd. Okay, so good to see you all. The presentation file that you see has two portions. One part is related to faculty and how AI and generative AI can help us as faculty to do our work. And then another portion of that is where we are seeing it from the student perspective, how we can help them to do their work or use AI in their activities. So today, we are only focusing on the first part, which is for the faculty-focused session. So lots of you might have a lot of information, more than me, about this. We are trying to use AI in our programs and in our courses to in different stages. Okay, so what we are going to take a look is that we're going to see how we can not, I would say, I don't say that we're going to have less work. We are just going to say we have different type of work to do so that we can get some more ideas or automate some of the parts. and give it to AI, and then we also need to double check that as we are seeing the results, and then we can focus on some other things that we will talk about. So again, the slides are more, again, general information about how we are doing this. I am going to review them quickly, and then I'm going to show you the tools. You might be familiar with some of them, you might not. And if you want me to skip any of those, or if you want to focus on anything specific, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to do that. So one of the one of the things that is really important for us to do is to, again, we're looking at different stages. Some of us are, if you think how you're using AI, maybe we're thinking about it at the beginning of the semester, how we are planning the work, or maybe you have received the the information from the previous professors, how they were running it, and then you're going to use that again, the same one. But again, you can give it to AI and then take a look at the outline and then ask for suggestions. Okay, how do you think that, for example, this addendum is exactly the way that we want it to be when we are looking at the course outlines? Are we missing anything? Are we covering everything that was over there? And again, we could do this with our assignments to make sure that every single, all those assignments, again, the same thing that we were doing before, we were reviewing and we were checking what are the assignments and then how they are connected to the course outcomes. So we can ask AI to double check that for us quickly. I'm sure so many of you are aware of that. Something that I wanted to add here is that I don't know about, how you are interpreting the Seneca policy. I'm sure the teaching and learning team has talked about it so many times that we should use Copilot. So, but that does not mean that we should use Copilot only. If you're not sharing any sensitive information, and as long as you're not sharing your Seneca credentials, or you're not logging with your Seneca email to those other platforms, you should be fine. Correct me if I'm wrong, Todd. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So one of those platforms that recently is picking up is let me just show you this one. Policies and practices are not okay, yeah. So, but the thing is that I think right now we are on the same page because again, we have been going through this process, right? There was a time that we were saying only this. Now Seneca is giving us some more flexibility based on my understanding to use those tools because you can still go and, for example, from those that are strictly not usable, you cannot install or add any of them on your laptops or on your Seneca computers. But those that are, Seneca is like, there's some gray areas and then there are some areas that we cannot do it. Let me show you, share a link with you. If you are an educator that you can use Perplexity. So Perplexity has lots of advantages that I'm going to talk about today. I shared a link with you. There is something that I added into that link on LinkedIn. So you can click on that link, or you can just go yourself and then create one account with Perplexity. Their account, I think it's like $24, $30, something like that, Canadian per month. But for us as educators, it's free. So you can get pro version for 1 year. And every single time that, for example, the link that I shared, if you click on it, for every single person who is clicking on that, I can get 1 month extra. And it can go up to 24 months. So something good to consider if you want to. But the good
Me,
thing,
just confirming that's the referral link. When I click on that link and it goes to the LinkedIn, I click on the referral link to.
yes, on the LinkedIn, if you want, you can click on the referral link, go from there. This will give you 1 extra month, and then 1 extra month will be given to me up to 24 months. So
Perfect,
I think
thank you.
I already had 10 people using that link, so I can get some more extra. But again, it is going to give you extra month for that, and it's going to be the pro version. So, and the reason is, I believe, is that because they don't have enough users in comparison to other tools like ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm going to show you Perplexity, and then from there, Perplexity. And from there, we can go to, I can show you some other things that are very, very interesting about Perplexity. So why do I like Perplexity? First of all, it's free for us. It's going to be there for 24 months or right now, like for a year, the pro version. So I'm just going to adjust my screen. There we go. And now what I like about it is that you can do research on this. Okay. You can, you see, like when you're in ChatGPT, there are lots of information, or even with the other platform, sometimes you could see hallucinations. Here you can get the link to whatever whatever you're searching for, and then if you want to give assignments to the students, if you want these kind of activities, I recommend Perplexity. And then um, use you can use the results and then add them to the other platforms to do some more interesting things. Again, it is not related to it. There is no, I would say, Seneca or confidential information here, so you can easily do that. One thing I just wanted to add is that Perplexity, when they want to give you 1 year, they just want to check with Seneca that you are employed, but it is not going to be your Seneca's email. So I have set it up on my Gmail account, but they will check that. So I think that should be good. Todd is drinking water, so that means that it is okay. Is that okay? Okay, thank
So
you.
when we sign
Yeah,
up for Perplexity, we should use our personal email, and then they will
you can.
cross-reference if we're
Yes,
Seneca
please
employees.
don't use Seneca's email. Just use your
Okay.
personal email. But then when it says you need to confirm that you're an educator, and then this is going to this. And also, all of your students can do that. Students will also be able to get this. There was a question Peter said. The firm with whom I've sometimes worked with introduced me to Perplexity almost 2 years ago. I immediately dropped my. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I have used Perplexity before. It was not as good as it is right now, or in my opinion. Maybe if you used it before, maybe you liked it. The version, it was very good for searching. Whatever you wanted to search, it was really strong. But from the generative AI standpoint, I was using ChatGPT for so many years. That was I was like saying, okay, now I'm going to cancel it. I was canceling it 2 days later. I was just going subscribing one more time. Now, let me show you some interesting things here. For example, I want to say, find the gap in, for example, teaching and learning. Um, and I would say, for example, in North America, and I would say I can add here, for example, in AI and management courses. Okay, so I can do a simple search. It is going to just give me some information, but this is not all I want. So I will just stop it here. And I can go and adjust what I want. So I can go there, edit. And in my edit, I'm just going to copy this one more time, add it to my search. So here you could see that we have two options, research, and this one is going to be labs, and then this one is going to be study. Okay, so a study is really amazing for the students. I will talk about it later when we're talking about student side. But from the professor side, this is the research. I don't know how many of you have spent times like going through the library, looking at the information. Um, I know that right now libraries are also having AI, so you could go there, for example, Springer's, Elsevier, whatever you're using. You can go and read those articles, and you could, they can search the articles and give you summaries. But this is going to be another interesting one, and it can combine two things here. You see, when I click on this here on this side, when I go to search, I can click on this, and it is, you see, I can change my model. Let me just do it one more time with a new, give me 1 second, with a new chat, and I will tell you why. So here, I'll just paste it. And then this is, you see, I can choose if I'm going to include only web results or I can have academic results. So if I want, I can just turn this off and then say only academic paper. Okay, so search academic papers, and then I can here say that I want it to be at the research level. And so many of you might know a lot about prompting, how to add, okay, you are the professor, you're doing this is your knowledge, this is what you're going to do, but this is going to give you fantastic results. Look at this. So it will take about 3 minutes. I have tested this on computer and on the phone. Both of them, they're having the same functionalities. Why do I say that? Because some of these tools, they are different when you're using them on your phone or when you're using them on your um, computer. And if you're using them on different browsers or different operating systems, they will give you different results. So this is going to give us lots of interesting information. Okay, we can take a look at this. We can tweak that. We can ask for, APA citation. We can ask for references, everything. But I'm not going to stop over there. I'm just waiting for this to give me the results, and I will show you some more things we will be doing with this. Again, this is everything when what we are doing as professors to create our assessments. If you want to do anything with your, create assignments, if you want to create any business cases, whatever you want to do, depending on the course or the program that you're teaching in, you could use all of these tools. Right. Now, when we are here, you see it's talking about the major gap. You can take a look at that, and you see these are the papers or the articles that are over there. But again, they are coming from different variety of places. I don't know if you are familiar with these. For example, this one, do you know this is like a pre-approved something that people just upload their drafts there, and then after that they can just publish, because publishing will take like months over there. Anyways, so you can see all the information over there. You see this one here. I can now go and ask questions based on this, but this is amazing. This is really great, but I'm going to do something else. So I'm going to go switch to normal search because that is quicker. And I would say, give me the references and the URLs of all the articles you used in this search. Okay, now let's see what we are getting. So everything that was being used, we are having them here. And do you want to guess what I'm going to do next with that?
That's gonna
Any
be
guess
your references page of that's like,
for what?
well, whatever it is, if you're writing
I'm
a
going,
paper, that could become your references page.
okay. So another one that I have is this one. So let me show you what is going on right now. So I will show you another tool, which is, I'm just going to expand this a little bit. And then here, anybody knows Notebook LM? Yeah, have you used it? Yeah, awesome. Yes, Lindsay, you have a question, or you just answered?
Yeah, I have a question about Perplexity. So what you showed us for the research, how is that comparable to ChatGPT's deep research? Like why would you think that it's better?
I have seen ChatGPT making hallucinations, and it was very interesting. I was doing a research with that, and some of the links, it is like it is giving you a link. It takes you to the same, for example, if it is from for example, a Springer's AI and Society, right? So it shows you the link, you go to, and the link takes you to a Springer's and Society, but it is showing you wrong article. So these ones are more legit. If you check, I have checked all of them all the time. They are way much better, and they are trying not to hallucinate much. And then the reason is because the way that they are created. So they created this to do more of the research. ChatGPT is created to answer your questions and to keep you and make you happy. That's the big problem. So they will give you some answers that, and then you have to go and double check. And I will show you different tools that you can use across the board, and then you can see that so many of them are creating hallucinated research, hallucinated references, and that will take lots of your time to go and to go and clear them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for asking this question. Now, going back to Notebook LM, if you don't know that, this is a tool from Google. And then, Google is, they have more money rather than, I would say, like even in comparison with so many of those companies. So I would click on this new notebook. And then here, you see all those links that I had from there? These links. I'm going to copy those. I would say list all the URLs only. I'm going to add them all to my Notebook LM as for those of you who do not know this, Notebook LM is where you can add the resources over there, and then Notebook LM is going to only use those resources to do activities. For example, I can give Notebook LM a video, link to some articles, link to some websites, and then say, based on this only, go ahead and give me for example, I can ask questions or ask it to create tests, things like that for us. So I'm going to use this list that I have, those
Naveed,
URLs.
sorry, quick question. No,
Please go ahead.
Perplexity can't do that. You'd have to use Notebook LM.
Perplexity does this, but I just said that apparently, I don't know why, but Google report is stronger than Perplexity's. The report that you get from there, if you are looking at presenting them at, if you want to publish your work, or if you want to look at this, you want to have like a fully polished work that is like very nicely written, I would say Notebook LM is writing it way much stronger than
Okay.
and more some academic wise rather than Perplexity. Perplexity is okay, but it is not always keeping it more, very academic wise. So I click on this website and I will put all the URLs. Okay. So if you want to do this on, the Notebook LM is one of those applications that I never recommend using this on your phone because you can only upload one link at a time. So that will be very frustrating. Okay, so I just got all those resources. And again, if you want to do like a big research, you need to have like hundreds of them at least. So you can ask for hundreds of references to be added there. And then here you have some information about it, but this is not what I want. What I want is the report. So you can click on these reports. And here it says, what do you want to have? So you can have a study guide based on this. So for example, if you're teaching a course that you need to teach your students some, I don't know, some of the rules and regulations or the things that we have with, I don't know, with some government sectors, they need to read some information and answer to that. Depending on where you're going to train your students, you can also add those links and then go and create a study guide on this. What I want to do is that I want to say, okay, I'm going to create, for example, I would say explanatory article. So I can click on this. It will take some time, but it will create a fantastic research article for us. Then you need to go and make changes and then see if it is exactly what you want. And then you can, this is giving you This is saving us so much time at the beginning of the work, upfront, if you want to create new content for your courses, if you want to have, you know, then based on this research or the article that you create, you can create your assignments. And because they're coming from legitimate sources, again, you could go and use all those, again, large companies, research companies like McKinsey, if you are in business management, or if you are, for example, in project management, you can use PMI articles, whatever you want. Or, you know, you could just use these kind of things. So you will create this article extracted from those academic resources, and then you can create your assessments, assignments, everything based on this. And because they are coming from academic resources, you can, again, scaffold the work. You can have expanded activities that, and then we can get to something that we always talk about it um, as authentic assessment. Okay, so this will take some time, but if you have any questions, anything to discuss right now, please let me know.
When you're using this in your courses and in your classroom, how much time would you say this saves for prep hours?
Again, I really love to create the content. I would say every single semester, not even if not every single semester. Again, there are some activities, for example, some courses I teach Excel in sometimes I don't make that much changes to those activities or assessments or assignments there because they are basic ones. And people cannot go and copy the work. But if you're teaching something that students have to read something and then write something about it and then do things like that, I prefer to change it every single time because these are right now showing up on platforms like Course Hero, things like that. People can go and copy and say, here is the work, and then they can change the work. So because of that, it is going to, again, if you're going to create them, this is going to be something that you will create, for example, for your course. I'm showing you like in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and then all of your assignments, everything could be from this. So it is saving a lot of time. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is that we always face this, that students come to us and say, oh, you know, my husband had this problem, my network had issues, I was not able to write the test. So you want to give them an alternative test, but this was a nightmare previously to create an alternative test. We had to ask the other professors to help to create every single semester. Like we were, I don't know about your department, but we were asking, like, could you give us some more questions? We want to add it there, or we were creating 2 different or 3 different tests. But now with this tool, you can go and create you have the solid foundations, and then based on that, we're creating the tests, whatever we want every single time with different variants. And then we can also set the same level of difficulty or challenge, if you want to name it. Did I answer your question? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now let's take a look at the result that is ready. I feel I'm just cooking something. Okay, it's out there. Yes, please, Todd.
Hi, Naveed. I was just going to ask, so basically, I'm going to attempt to summarize what you're saying so that I make sure that I have it clear in my head. You're dumping in a whole bunch of articles on a particular topic so that you could create some learning content for your students,
That is
right? So,
correct.
so instead of sending them to read pages 1 to 10 of a textbook, they're now going to read these pages that Notebook LM created based on a whole bunch of other material. So it's
Yes.
almost like a summary of a whole bunch of material. And then once you have this created, you can ask Notebook LM or a different tool to create assessments for you based on this document or this summary that was created. Is that kind of
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
That's the
That is
workflow
correct.
here? Okay.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for putting it all together. That is 100% correct. So this is how we are, again, creating the content, and it is saving lots of time. And again, because we have all of this created upfront, we can also And there are some other things we could do for the students. So the report is one thing. And again, this is the report that you get. You can also, I'm sure you know this, you can also um, create audio. And then when you're creating audio, you can have different types. These are new. If you used this Notebook LM before, these are new features being added here to have like deep dive or brief or critic or debates between people. And this is going to create a podcast for our students. I realize that students love these podcasts. Some of them are using public transit most of the time. They say that, we are just sitting there listening to this all the time, and then they learn what we wanted to, dripping the information into their brain so that they can learn the things. Yes, please, Janelle, please go ahead.
So I can see how this is very useful for taking a whole bunch of content and summarizing it, and I'm sure that has saved you a lot of time. To follow up on the time-saving question, then, how much time does it take to audit the materials that Perplexity is producing or Notebook LLM is producing? So, for example, in this example, I don't know how long that study guide was, but it seemed relatively long. How long does it take you to audit that and then edit it and then make sure it actually covers whatever learning outcomes you want it to cover?
There are different ways that we could do that. So I sometimes what I do is that I don't do some of the activities at the beginning myself. I give it to another tool. And some of the tools are very critical. I'm going to show them to you. Some of the tools are very critical, and they criticize exactly what is missing. So again, the thing is that I always mention what are the things that I want to cover here. And then I give it to another tool that checks. And if it is okay, I can just then go and read it slightly. But again, if you want to say that this is going to be 100% correct and fully ready for the students, you're absolutely fine. It needs another, I would say, like at least 1 to 2 hours to review, read, make sure there are no errors there. I have not seen hallucination out of this. That's the good part, because we are getting real resources. We are putting them here. Another thing I just wanted to mention, another advantage of this method over some of the other ones is that I don't know if you have recently checked our library's website. Lots of the publishers, they say we cannot download their PDF files and then upload them there. Okay, Todd is also adding some information over there. Thank you, Todd. Yes, so because right now so many of those resources, everybody's like too cautious about like what we could do with that, what we cannot do. This is going to help us to use the tool to use the resources that we want and then get the activities done faster.
So how does that timeline compare to what it was for you before you used AI? Because it still sounds like a long process. Like you're still spending like 3 to 5 hours doing this. So how does and that I assume it's like a 3 to 4 hour process if you're actually auditing the content. If you're not actually auditing the content, then clearly it's very quick. But if you are actually auditing this and you're doing it on a weekly basis for when you have to deliver a lecture, how does that time of like a 3 to 5 hour process compare to how long it would have taken you without AI?
So one thing is that, for example, in some of the courses, we are not creating it every single week. We create one thing, and then, for example, one content is going to be there, and then the other parts are going to be based on this. So we create the main, for example, case study, or we create the main content, and then everything else is going to be based on that, or at least, for example, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions based on this. Another thing is that if I was, previously, if you want to have very updated sources, for example, here in my prompt, I didn't mention anything, but you can mention in your prompt that I want this sources to be from 2024 and 2025 only. So it is going to save lots of time. You need to go and find appropriate article, read that, summarize it, then bring that summary, put it all together, write another thing for the students. We don't have that much time. Again, if we are recycling the work from somebody else and making changes to that, that is absolutely doable. But if you want to do authentic work that it is not over there, we are creating it, giving it to students. And again, in some programs, for example, in public administration that I was teaching, student wanted to, like when I was teaching one of the courses there, the content was from 2017. So nothing was relevant. It was talking about project that was done at City of Toronto. That project never happened. That was like, it stopped in the middle and then it didn't finish. So everyone was aware of that. Why are we using it as a case to plan for it, right? So things like this. So to be more current, it is going to help us. And as I said earlier, it is not going to, especially when we are using the tools at the beginning, or because the tools are also evolving and making and changing every single day. You are correct. It is not that much less work, but it is another type of work. So you might be okay with this type of work rather than the other one, or you might say, no, I prefer the other style that I was using before.
Okay, so it's not that this is it's not that this technique is materially faster than what you were doing before. It's just that it's a different way to do that work.
At this, depending on the outcome, if you want to create the same outcome that you have now, it is faster. If you again, for example, if depending on your content, the course, if I want to go and find related article, read that, summarize it, add them together, create one content, it is going to at least take about, I would say, 10 hours. But if you're doing it with one article, that's okay and easy. For example, you go and read one article, like what is like the, in the news, and then ask them to summarize it or do something about it, or say, okay, read this article from Harvard Business Review and tell me what you think about it, and then have discussions about that. That is okay. But if you want to have blended information from different sources, that is going to give us some futuristic or some high level or very academic level work, this is going to be, I would say, much faster.
Great, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Okay, I will move on to some other tools that we have, respecting, we just have 15 more minutes. I am going to show some of the tools that maybe you have not seen that much before, and they are very interesting. So I don't know if you have seen this tool. I'm just going to add it to the chat. Some of them, this one is, if have you ever, anybody has seen this before? Have you ever tried this? This is from Alibaba. If do you know Alibaba? The company, like the Chinese company. So they have created this, and yeah, and then you can use this to review some of the work. It is very serious. So the results that you get from this, you can say, I want you to, for example, create rubrics for my course. Here is the assignment, double check and make sure that this aligns with whatever I'm doing. Again, the reason that I want you to have a variety is that because you can double check, you can give your work to different platforms. They can give you some feedback, and then you can understand which platform works better for you in your field, because some of them might be very good for me, but might not be very great for your courses or your field that you're teaching it. Another tool that we have, or another I would say platform that is available to us, is also, again, this one is DeepSeek. They are going to revolutionize the search that we have because they're changing the way that the tokens work. I don't want to go into those details. Yes, Lindsay, go ahead, please.
Thanks. I really appreciate that you're showing us all of these new tools because I didn't know any of them. But quick question, if we're using all these different types of AI tools, and you need like a membership or subscription, this could get expensive. So
No,
if
you don't need
like,
that.
what are your top 3 like must-haves?
For which part? What do you want to do specifically, and which and what is the field of your teaching? And I can tell you, like, based on what I have seen.
So I'm in this course as an administrator, but I'm also a professor and I teach in the TESOL program. So I'm
Yeah.
teaching people how to be teachers, basically, to be language teachers.
Mhm.
So what would be like the top 3 AI tools that I would need?
So, again, depending on the activities we do, if you are a person who prefers to talk to AI and get the information, or, you just want to double check something about the content you are teaching, and you want to work on that. If you want to talk the research shows that majority of people like talking to Gemini. Um, on the other hand, if you have Gemini is from Google. If you don't know, again, that's free. We have the privilege of having Copilot, and then the version that we have is also you can talk to that version on your phone, and that's also really great. Yeah, okay, so Gemini is good. People like that. So Gemini is really good for if you wanna have somebody, a companion talking to, and you want to chat and you want to like pause, and it's very interesting. Some of the newer versions of these AI tools, they can also feel if you're like smiling or laughing or upset when you're talking. So this is good. But again, I would say Gemini is for mostly for chat. I don't use Gemini for research, for those activities. I don't know. There is something wrong with that it doesn't really click when I work with that. If you have very difficult mathematical questions, you can ask Gemini. I have seen that Gemini somehow answered those questions very well. Even at the time that ChatGPT was not that much strong, if you were, or if you're teaching any math courses, just be careful that students can go there and they can have all the explanations. Any type of questions, like if it is at the very, very difficult PhD level, even they can get the answers, and depending on the prompt, they can get very good answers and without hallucinations that much from Gemini. But then there is another thing. If you want to get some more insight about something based on the information on the internet, I would say, and if you don't want to necessarily talk to AI, go to DeepSeek. So DeepSeek is when you are, let me show you here. A DeepSeek, if I want to search something that is, for example, again, the things that, again, you don't need to have this one. Oh, okay. This one, again, for DeepSeek, you don't have to pay anything. For QN, you don't have to pay anything. They're all free. And again, these are just the chats that I'm talking about. When you click on DeepThink and search simultaneously, and if you search for something that whatever you want when you're thinking about it in your academic work, in your teaching, or in your personal and professional life, for example, if you have any questions, try DeepSeek, and you will see that the answers here are more strategic, and it checks all the information. Yeah, because I don't know if this has happened to you. Sometimes I use ChatGPT and said, I want to do this. For example, I have a problem with my neighbor. He's doing this. What should I do? And it's like, oh, nice question. Go and talk to your neighbor, and then go and find a consultant. Well, yeah, this is nice, but I'm not 5 years old. I know all of these things. I need to have some more, to know like what my rights are, what the other side can do. So things like this. So if you are looking at, or if you are looking for information that is like very specific, you want this to be, I would say it is even better than DeepThink of some other models. The other one that I want to show you, which is okay, and this one is a little bit weird because it doesn't always give you constant good or bad results. So if you have seen it, the Grok, Grok is there. Again, you can get this one for free. Lots of things you could do. Tons of, if you want to like create funny videos, things like that, it can do it for you. But the thing is that when you're using Grok, that's also seems like, okay. When you're using Grok, you can use voice. You can use, you can go to the image, do lots of things with images. They are funny, if you want to use it in that case, that is okay. But something that I would say this is what we need to be very careful about Grok is that Grok has something here that are called personas. You see this one? You can, I just encourage you to go and take a look at those. Okay, thank you for that conversation in the chat box. Again, Grok, you get the results sometimes, but sometimes the results are not that much good. But one of the reasons that I always keep eye on Grok is that this is a tool that is being approved to be used by military services, the United States. So should be some good things behind it. I'm still not getting consistent good results from that one. And they're overwhelming. I think tools are really good. Okay, so just one more last thing I want to add here. We can go to some more Q&As, whatever you want. Right now, we see lots of browsers coming out, and students are using this. We are using it. I don't know if you have seen those. I can show you one of them. It's called Comet, and it is related to, let me see where that is, Comet. This one. It is from Perplexity. So, but the thing is that I encourage you not to use it right now because of so many reasons. Because of security, I just published a very important research about this on LinkedIn, that how you can go also test that. How people are in doing prompt injection there, and then all your data might be sent to somebody else, or it could be like a big danger right now. But again, these are over there, and we have to be careful again from the academic integrity perspective, because I tested this. I gave a username and password of a platform, and I put some information there and say, okay, go there. Here is the information, username and password, credentials to go there. Go there and do the test for me. And I put a test on that LMS. So it easily went into the LMS. It answered all the questions. Everyone was 100% correct. And I didn't have to be involved. So this could happen to our tests. Students might go there, they might use the browsers to answer the questions. And again, it's not, this is what we are seeing everywhere. Comet is there right now, available to everyone, especially our students. We have, I don't know if you have seen this, if you are using your Windows browser, which is the, what was this one? Let me just expand my screen here. If you're using Microsoft Edge, it can also do something similar. So for example, if I'm going on a website and if I want, I can go there to that website and click on this. Sorry for clicking on that. I know what happened to all of us, those who are following Blue Jays. So hopefully they're good next time. They were very good. I really enjoyed the game last night. So I can click on this here, and the Copilot here is doing a fantastic job for us, and it is going to, I can ask Copilot to do some interpretations for me on what Copilot is seeing on this page. Because this one is from Seneca, I was also able to try this on the Blackboard. Excuse me. So um, I used this on Blackboard. So the Blackboard, I was checking and say, okay, show me the students that are at risk, considering this. So I was opening up to multiple tabs over there, and then Copilot was able to figure out the students who were at risk. So that was very nice to have. And again, you can create the same thing, go to your course content here on Blackboard and ask Copilot to write a summary or to create something like the multiple choice questions or any type of questions. They are not wonderful all the time, but they are okay. You could use them. And these are about the browsers. Again, I wanted to practice some of the things together, but we didn't get a chance. I'm just going to give you the link to, or I'm just going to add everything that I wanted to add for the tools here at the bottom here of the page. And then these are the tools that you can use, AI tools. One of them I just mentioned, Google, we can use Google search also to use your, okay, thank you so much, Jessica, for joining. And again, I have used Google to, sorry, hold on a second, to do the search. Now Google is giving you option to do the search with AI. So if you just go to Google and say, for example, I don't know, I would say Seneca Convocation 2025, I can go there and I can click on AI mode. So AI mode is also giving us some information about that. So these are the new things you might be interested in. Okay, it's 3:14. I just wanted to stop here. Can you recommend any tool for professors teaching optics? For future registered opticians, maybe a tool that would work equally well for teaching. I don't know specifically what would be the best tool for that. What do you want that tool to do?
To, let's say, create assessments or lesson plans for future opticians, for students that want to become registered opticians.
So
Our
do you,
sources, our books, textbooks are very, very specific.
okay.
So
what is it okay? Like, have you ever tried adding them to Notebook LM and then go from there? Because if it is very niche and very specific, you could do that. Also, you can give them the previous tests. Like for Notebook LM, you can say, here are the previous tests, how we were evaluating before. Now show me like how we are evolutionizing that. Or if you want to make them more, as I said, more authentic, you can also work on that to just, I don't know if you have any like multiple choice questions, things like that, because the questions are very easy answerable by AI.
okay, thank you. So
Most
I'll take
welcome.
Notebook LM.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for listening and participating. Appreciate it, Todd. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Naveed. Just for, especially for my faculty, for the faculty champions here today, but for anyone else, I'm thinking maybe we'll try to put together maybe a little bit of set of questions or something that we might have that we can ask Naveed, and I can email it to him. Just like a question like Ioana just had right there. If she want like some very specific type tasks that we want to be able to do, and then we can just ask for some recommendations on those specific type tasks, because yeah, you've given us a very good overview of many different tools. And now if people have more specific, if they want to dig in a little bit more like Ioana just did, then that's kind of where we have to go to next, right? Because even Lindsay was saying that there is a lot and it's overwhelming. So for everyone, it's going to be a little bit different. So we can maybe come up with our own little set of specific questions. But again, thank you, Naveed, for showing off your skills and talents and some of the things you're doing. Yeah, I want to come back to, I know we'll do this in our own class, what Janelle brought up around, how much time is this taking you? And I think there are some really good, like anything, I guess, good. There's some upfront work, but I think the dividends pay off a little bit down the road a little bit. So yes, Naveed has to read through some of the materials that the content he creates with Notebook LM. But once he's done that, he has that set of that content there that he can just build everything off of now moving forward. He could build tests with it. He could build assignments with that content. He could create other sets of content from that content. So a little bit of upfront work to save, I think, a lot of work in the end. But thank you very much,
Thank you
Naveed,
so
for
much.
joining us. And perhaps we will see you back in a future session.
Yeah, thank you. It would be my pleasure.
Great. I'm just going to share a screen quickly here with everyone as I let you go. I'm just reminding us about. So if you're not, I see Peter still on, whatever, feel free to hop off now. Thanks for joining. Some people from Naveed's program area were with us today, so because they wanted to see some of the great things Naveed is doing as well. And in hindsight, maybe we could have simplified it a little bit, but that's okay. We kind of got a little start there. There's our look at next week, next Tuesday. It is our final in-person session before the last session of the year. We're going to do a few things there. We're going to rethink some assessment and evaluation, take a look at how we could take a couple of very standard, typical type assignments and revise them so that AI could be incorporated. We will get a chance to fill out a row of the deliverable 2 that I introduced you today, so you can just get a sense of what you need to be thinking about. We will be joined by Michael Myers from Seneca Libraries, who will go through some prompt engineering strategies, so effective ways to prompt AI to get it to accomplish what we want it to. And you can ignore that homework that's there. I just realized that's there from an old slide. No homework. Yay! Your only homework is to cheer for the Blue Jays and meet me at Young and Eglinton at 11:15 after they win. I will be in the street there honking horns. All right. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you next week. If you have a question, feel free to stick around and ask it. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Todd.
See you, Richard.
Later, man.